What is up, YouTube? Coin Bandit YouTube channel here again, and I have $50 worth of pennies from my bank today, bank counter, and we already have 5 wheat penny enders, or bag enders, because I can see through the clear plastic. And before we go over the dates of those, we have the Lincoln Cent album fill, episode 14, boxes 23 and 24 for these albums, but the newer stuff I already filled up, so I put those away. We have filled 54 of this album, and this album holds 140. Let's go over our enders. We have a 58 Denver right there. Then let's see, we have a 56 Denver right there. We have a 53P right there, just got covered up. We have a 53D right there. Then we have a 50 Denver somewhere right here. Alright, so I'm just gonna dump out this bag, make a big mound onto the table, and start going through it, and then I'll bring you in with our first wheat penny find. We'll be keeping any copper pennies for before 1982. Because they're worth more than face value. They're worth almost 3 cents right now, in their copper mill, and we'll be keeping 2009 pennies, just because I like them, and we'll be pulling out any 1959 pennies, because 1958 was the last year for the wheat penny reverse. Then they moved to the memorial reverse, so that's why I keep them at 59 separate. The 1982 was a split year, so they made zinc pennies and copper pennies, and copper pennies are 3.2 grams, and zinc pennies are 2.5 grams. So, alright, I'm going to dump out the bag, and what wheat pennies I see on top, I'll pluck off and go over them with you. See you in a second. Alright, I have dumped out the bag, and I forgot to tell you that. Oh, here's another wheat penny. Okay. I've found 4 on top of the pile. You want to be keeping your 2025 pennies, and maybe 2024, because of them, they probably will be, stop making pennies this 2025, or early 2026. 61 Denver. So, 2 weeks ago, I found my first 2025 penny. So, and then I dumped out the bag. So, I'm going to keep the 2024 Philadelphia and Denvers, 1 2009 Denver, 3 2025 Philadelphia pennies. I hope to get a Denver, maybe. 59 Denver, 41S wheat penny, 50S wheat penny, 54 Denver, and a 57 Denver. Alright, bring you in with our next wheat penny find. I looked right here as I was putting away those coins onto my light stand. Here's a 51 Denver, so that's number 5. Bring you in with our next find. Now, unless I find something interesting, I'm only going to bring you in for the wheat pennies. Here's wheat penny number 6. 55 Denver. Bring you in with our next wheat penny find. It is the next day, and I'm gonna start going through, and here's wheat penny number 7. 1942 Philly, I think. Yes, it's wheat penny number 7. We found a few more 2025 pennies, and since they're supposedly going to stop making pennies by maybe early 2026, been pulling out all my redder coins, even though they're modern, and all my copper pennies. So I will bring you in with our next wheat penny find. Alright, wheat penny number 8. Looks like a 52 Denver, 1952S actually. 1952S. There's my foods ready. Here's another wheat penny. This one looks like it could be old. 1919 Philly. We already put a nicer one of those in the last video, in the album. If it had a mint mark. Alright. Bring you in with our next find. Alright. 56 Denver. Yeah, 56 Denver. I think that's number 9, I think. Bring you in with our next find. Wheat penny number 10. 53 Denver. And that's number 10. What are you? No. Alright, bring you in with our next find. A few coins later, and we have another wheat penny. 45 Philly. Bring you in with our next find. Looking here, and I see a wheat penny sticking out. This one could be in the 30s, maybe. No, 1945 Philly, number 11, I believe. Probably should count them pretty soon. I'll see. Bring in with our next find. Another wheat penny, 58 Denver, number 12, I believe. Bring you in with our next find. Little while later, 1950 Denver wheat penny, number 13. Bring you in with our next find. Pile's getting smaller, but we just found an old Canadian, King George VI. I like finding the King George V, but that's rare. Especially when to find a King George. 1940. It's an old Canadian penny. Not sure when they made those. I know they made them in 1940 at least. 2023. Alright, I'll bring you in with our next wheat penny find. Alright, a few coins later, I'm not sure how many wheat pennies we have. Put 2 back to back. I think we have a 55 Denver. And this one here, 53 Denver. I'm not sure how many that is. What is for you? A total at the wrap up. Bring you in with our next wheat penny find. Alright, I've swiped away a few more coins all the way around. I think we have 3 or 4 wheat pennies. So 57 Denver. This one looks like it's older. 46S. That could be a book filler. Okay, I see one sticking out down here. Wrong one. 53 Denver. I'm not going to look through the phone. I'm going to look over the phone. Alright, bring you in with our next find. Found another wheat penny. Here we go. 46 Philly, and I hung one up here. 56 Denver. Oh, here's another one. 45 Philly. So they're up here. Here's one maybe. 58 Denver. Here's another old one. Nope. 1923 Philly. That one could be a book filler. 44 Philly. 55 Philly. Wow, where did all these come from? I went through like a few hundred pennies off this pile and didn't find one. Alright, that was pretty cool. That's a lot of wheat pennies. 2, 4, 6, 7. I think we have like 20 wheat pennies. A few 2025. That's quite a few actually. Yeah, alright, bring you in with our next find. Alright, another wheat penny, a few coins later. Pile keeps getting smaller. 50 Denver. Wish that was the nickel. Here's a Canadian. Canadian number 5. What year? Oh, it's a bird scent. 1967. Alright. Oh my. Here's a 1927 Philly right under it. Okay, well that makes 2 more wheat pennies. Bring you in with our next find. Let's swipe down the coins. See another wheat penny there, and that one right there. 53 Denver. The stack's getting too high. What are you? 58 Philly. Oops, dropped it. bring you in with our next find. Alright, 2 more wheat pennies. 57 Philly and 46 Philly. Alright, bring you in with our next find. I am back, and so we got 34 wheat pennies, and how many was it? 2, 4, 6, 9, 1959s, 6 Canadians, 17 2025 Philadelphia, 17 2009. Is it 34 wheat pennies? Then we have 4 or 5 book fillers, 41S, 142 Philly, 44 Philly, 345 Phillies, 246 Phillies, 146S, 150S, 250 Denvers, 151 Denver, 52S, 4 1953 Denvers, 154 Denver, 155 Philly, 255 Denvers, 156 Philly, 256 Denvers, 157 Philly, 257 Denvers, 158 Philly, and 258 Denvers. Then our old ones, 1919 Philly, not a book filler, 23 Philly, book filler, 1927 Philly, book filler as well. Alright, I'm going to bring you back with the total weight of copper, and how many wheat pennies fit in our book. See you then. Alright, so we filled 6 spots in our album, so now we have filled 160 of the 140 that this album holds. Only 80 more to go. 80 more spots in that album. 7 pounds, 5 ounces of copper. That's a lot of copper. I like around 3 pounds per box, and that was 2 boxes there. So, thanks for watching. Happy hunting, and like and subscribe. See you in the next video.